Live from the tank, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you into coverage of NCAA Division II men's basketball. In today's men's basketball East Coast Conference matchup, the College of Staten Island Dolphins take on the Queens College Knights, and we have a live performance of the national anthem by MJ Ruiz of the CSI dance team. So we'll send it down to the court right now for a live performance of the national anthem. On the other side of that, the rest of the McDonald's pregame show. And we are back from the tank. Joe Foreman-Reed joining you alongside Nick Durst on the call for CSI Dolphins men's basketball. Today's East Coast Conference matchup features the Dolphins taking on the Queens College Knights. And Nick, Dolphins got conference play off to a good start the other day. They did fall behind early against Malloy University, came back, improved to 4-3 on the season, and they did that without the premier interior defender in Messiah Mallory.
Yeah, Mallory was out with an ankle injury, but the rest of the team picked up where they left off when they were here in the tank last. And Clancy at one point had 8 straight points in the game. And Blake Wilson had his career game so far. And the Dolphins were able to come away with victory in the last game.
It was a great effort for Blake Wilson on Wednesday against the Lions, helping the Dolphins come from behind to defeat Malloy on the road. They return home to take on a Queens College Knights team today that enters 4-2 on the season, and they defeated CSI's first-round ECC playoffs opponent last year in UDC earlier in the week on Wednesday night. 6-point win for Queens over the Firebirds. However, the Dolphins do hold a commanding lead in the all-time series, 11-4 in favor of the Dolphins. And with plenty on the line last season, these two teams faced off late in the season here at the College of Staten Island, and CSI was able to come away with a big win, 73-67. That helped propel the Dolphins to the postseason.
Absolutely, and that was crucial in building this program's success, and a lot of success so far early on here for this team.
Should be a very entertaining matchup between these two teams. The Dolphins have Messiah Mallory back today. Of course, fans of the Dolphins, and of course all of us here at the College of Staten Island, happy to see that. Perhaps the Knights wish he could have waited just one more game. He is in the Dolphins starting lineup today. And Nick, that's it for our McDonald's pregame show. You have the Chi Aesthetics Med Spa and Wellness Center starting lineups.
All right, here we go, Joe. First for Queens College, number 0, Sonny Diamond. Number 1 is Dante Griffin. Number 2 is Jaden Serafin. Number 5 is Malik Bentnick. And number 30 is Zaire Lawrence. The head coach is Matt Collier. And now for the Dolphins, number 1 is the senior from Newburgh, New York, Jordan McAllister. Number 3, the sophomore from Waterville, New York, J.J. Chestnut. Number 21, the freshman guard from Staten Island, New York, Aaron Goldstein. Number 22, the graduate student from Colony, New York, Bryce Waterman. And number 23, we just talked about him, from Waterville, New York, the junior forward, Messiah Mallory. The head coach is T.J. Tibbs.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't touch on some of the notable performances from the Dolphins last game. Bryce Waterman led the way with 24. He really came on strong offensively in Messiah Mallory's absence. J.J. Chestnut had 15. You mentioned Blake Wilson. He had 13 points and 5 rebounds. But late in that game, the Dolphins turned to Jordan McAllister once again for big shots down the stretch. He delivered. He had 14 points. He has been fantastic late in games for the Dolphins this year. As CSI does win the opening tip, they will possess it first as they take on their CUNY rival at home, and Messiah Mallory re-enters the Dolphins lineup with 2 quick points.
Well, I'm sure Mallory was itching to get back out there on the court. Looks like he is ready to go. His ankle's taped, and he scored the early point, and now the Dolphins forced a turnover.
Mallory, when he has been in the Dolphins lineup, has been a huge part of what CSI has done defensively in their wins, but he's still scoring his 10 to 12 points per game, doing a great job on the glass as always, altering shots, rejecting shots. And speaking of Dolphins who have made an impact, how about Aaron Goldstein as well in his short time with the team?
Goldstein, 2-time ECC Rookie of the Week.
And J.J. Chestnut lays that in for 2 more, and the Dolphins are out to an early 4-point lead.
Dolphins look good in these new blue uniforms, which are the alternatives this year.
Dolphins putting the pressure on Queens early as the Knights just got it across the timeline ahead of 20 seconds on the shot clock. 10 to shoot. Left wide open from 3 with Seraphin. He couldn't connect, but the Knights have the offensive board. High off the glass, no good on that second attempt by Seraphin, and the Dolphins draw a loose ball foul following the board. And I think I remember having this conversation last year, Nick, but these slate-on-slate numbers for the
Hard
Knights,
to say.
even from this close.
The number, it's just it's a nice small trim of pink or red, and then it's just the black. Very difficult. You can't even see the word Knights on the front of the jersey.
I think we had this exact same conversation last year, if I recall.
Yes.
Chestnut out to McAllister. Jordan crosses over and pulls up. High arcing shot is good.
Really high arcing shot there. McAllister knocks it down with some heavy defense in his face there.
He is so hard to defend with that high release point as the Dolphins force another turnover. Goldstein for McAllister, wide open under the rim, and Jordan lays it in for 2. Timeout Knights.
That was all set up by the great defense on the press in which Mallory forced a turnover, and they come back the other way and score. Dolphins up 8-0 early.
Dolphins got off to a slow start against Malloy on Wednesday. No slow start today as CSI leads 8-0. Nick, what have you liked that you've seen from the Dolphins early in this game?
I love their intensity and their pressure here on defense. It's great to see them coming out, firing on all cylinders here defensively. Which led to that easy basket you saw right there. 8-0 lead.
Dolphins, a team that can score it from anywhere on the floor. The mid-range, in the paint, and from beyond the arc. A very dangerous offensive team. And we saw how good they can be defensively in more than one outing this season as well. They wreaked havoc in that game against Georgian Court. The Lions were never really in that game. CSI's defense ushering them to victory in that game. They then came from behind against Malloy, due in large part to their defense. And, of course, the outside shooting of Bryce Waterman in the second half of that game was huge as well. But CSI's defense not to be overlooked. Just over 2 minutes gone by in the first half. The Dolphins lead at 8-0. Pass fake, and the shot way off by Bentink. We have a whistle underneath, a foul called. At least I thought so. Perhaps the ball was just knocked out of bounds. It stays with the Knights. Diamond barely stayed in the corner, and he was forced to throw it off the legs of McAllister. .11 on the shot clock. Diamond defended by McAllister. Feed inside, off the hands of Lawrence and out of bounds.
Some more good defense by the Dolphins.
That's 3 turnovers for Queens, and there's the first for the Dolphins. They just get it in. And there's nobody home in the corner. Miscommunication there. Seraphin drew it away. 2.5 gone by in this first half. Already 4 turnovers for Queens. Still no points. This is Goldstein. Attacking the rim, finds an open Mallory. Saya takes a dribble and threw up an air ball.
I think it was blocked there. I think somebody got a piece of that, maybe Diamond.
Certainly possible. Dangerous landing as well, as that floater won't go. But the putback gets Queens on the board. That was Zaire Lawrence for 2.
Joe, I don't know how you spotted number 30 on Lawrence, because I could not see that there.
You get used to it. Nice entry pass to Mallory, who's double teamed. Finds a cutting Chestnut. Floater won't go off glass. And the rebound goes to the Knights. Open 3 in the corner is good. And Queens is back within 3.
Queens finding their shooting touch now.
Dolphins by 3. Goldstein still surveys the floor, finds Waterman for 3. And he rattles it in.
Well, Bryce has had a few big scoring games in a row. And now he's picking up where he's left off in those.
Give him an inch and he takes 3 points. Bryce Waterman with his first basket. And the Dolphins are back in front by 6. Griffin feeds inside. And the pass toward the corner was tipped by Goldstein, as the Dolphins will make a pair of substitutions. Mallory and Goldstein to the bench. Knights struggling to get it in, and they do just in time. Diamond with the jab step, crosses over, was doubled, nearly turned it over. Bentinck in heavy traffic, finds a cutting teammate, Seraphin lays it in.
Nice job there by the Knights.
Dolphin lead back down to 4. Chestnut. Adelaide Oyekanmi had it tipped. Waterman, step back 3, splash.
Wow, Joe. Defender all up in his face. But like you said, you give Waterman an inch, he'll give you 3 points.
You give Bryce any room for that step back, and you've made a mistake already. He is not hesitant to pull the trigger from beyond the arc. Good defense inside by Oyekanmi, but better offense by Seraphin.
Seraphin able to finish with the good defense all over him.
Dolphins almost threw it away. This is Clancy in the corner. 20 on the shot clock. Chestnut looking for somewhere to go with it. Waterman was defended closely by Seraphin, who steals it. Seraphin carried, got away with it, and throws it down with 2 hands.
Should have been 8 points. Should have been a whistle there.
And Nick, I am not one who is for calling every carry, but that was a very blatant carry. I mean, that was...
especially on a fast break.
As bad as it gets.
When it was all by himself, easy to spot.
It looked like he was halfway between what he wanted to do. As McAllister scores 2 at the other end, the Dolphins back in front by 5. Diamond was fouled on his way to the basket. He was tangled up in heavy traffic, and we will have our first media timeout of the first half. Strong start for the Dolphins. Nice response by Queens. CSI leads it by 5 with 14-16 to go in the first half.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold.
All right, so we're back here on the ECC Network, and the officials are taking a look at one of the Dolphins' three-pointers. It's Bryce Waterman in the right corner. It was close. I saw it in real time, and he may have been towing the line there. We'll see if that call stands. But that's what the officials are looking at right now. So,
good job by Tyler to have that ready, queued up, coming back from commercial break quickly to get the replay.
And I think the official ruling is that the call stands. And Nick, in real time, I thought he may have been towing the line, and that look possibly was good enough to overturn it. But the officials,
I think whatever the initial call was is what was going to stand.
The officials determined they couldn't get a good enough look at Bryce's toes. So if it's not definitive, can't overturn it. Job well done by the officials. Got over here quickly following the timeout for the media break. And the action is set to resume from the tank with the Dolphins leading 16-11. Knights will inbound from the baseline. Diamond uses the screen. Finds a teammate along the baseline. Kick out to a wide open three. And that shot was missed. That was Chester in the corner. Feed inside for Lawrence. He gave it up. Kick out for Tynes, and he knocks down the three.
Time for Tynes there, and Tynes knocks down the three.
Eric Tynes makes it a 2-point game. And a foul was called under the basket. And Nick, something that I think has been very clear this year, Messiah Mallory, a lot more vocal on the floor, and you know his head coach likes to see that.
Yeah, there's no one here that's been in the program longer than him. Mallory's been here the same amount of time as Armas and Waterman, so he's feeling comfortable to talk up this season.
Armas can't connect from three. Queens can tie or take the lead here. And instead they throw up an air ball, but Mallory was last to touch it. At least I thought so. It's ruled Dolphins ball. Goldstein will bring it up. Goldstein right to the basket. Reverse layup is good.
Goldstein pretty quiet in the last game, but the Dolphins still were able to win. When he gets going, it's hard for the other opposition team to stop him.
Goldstein didn't get many minutes against Malloy. We saw that in the first game of the season as well, as the Dolphins avoid the turnover there off the stop. Armas in the corner, looks to drive baseline, finds Oyekanmi, and he draws the foul.
He'll head to the free throw line now. Well, we got a second here, Joe. We want to give a shout-out to our colleague, Marquise Pickering, who's coaching the Petrides High School team in their city championship game, I believe, today. So good luck to Marquise. Maybe it's over by now. We're not too sure.
We'll have to see if we can get a scoring update. Maybe one day they'll be able to afford Joe Foreman calling their game. Maybe one day. They need to get a broadcast crew over there.
Might have to get Flow Sports.
Definitely not Flow Sports. Please, no. Yeah, not a big fan of Flow Sports.
They should have had the city championship game broadcasted.
I wonder if they had Nobody Cares at the game.
It's possible.
Dolphins trap off the inbound as CSI goes in front by 6 on the free throws. Knights work it around the outside. It's Contreras to the corner. Tynes back out to Contreras. Tynes fakes. Step through, floater, short. And rebounded by Oyekanmi. Goldstein, entry pass for Mallory, tipped and stolen. Nearly thrown away by Queens, but Diamond has it. Diamond around the back. Can't connect from the mid-range. Rebound goes to Queens. And a foul is called against the Dolphins. Good job on the second effort. Offensive glass by Omar and Conde.
Dolphins foul for 23, Messiah Mallory, his first, team second.
Two free throws for Nkande. First rattles out. And Nkande goes 0 for 2 from the line. Clancy with the rebound. Dolphins getting a play call in from the bench. And Mallory was called for an offensive foul. And the bench did not like it at all. Didn't see much there. But that will send us to immediate timeout. Dolphins lead is 6 points. Our score, Staten Island 20, Queens 14. 11:44 to go in the first half. Chi Aesthetics Med Spa and Wellness Center. Our approach to beauty and wellness begins with a holistic plan tailored to the unique needs of our patients. When we consult with patients, we let them tell us what their problem is. We don't tell them what the issue is. We find out what they're looking for, and we discuss, and then we give them options. If you're looking to achieve radiant skin, you've come to the right place. We offer hydrofacials, microneedling, Opus Plasma, peels, facial and laser treatments, laser hair removal, body sculpting, fat freezing, hormone replacement therapy, Botox, IV drip therapy, and more. We are open Monday through Saturday and are located at 720 Forest Avenue, Staten Island, New York, 10310. We hope to see you soon. Visit our website at www.chiaesthetics.com for more information. And we are back from the tank where the Dolphins lead it by 6. It will be Queens basketball following an offensive foul call against Messiah Mallory. TJ Tibbs didn't like that call, but he has to like the way that his team started in this game. Dolphins came out very strong. The Knights with a good answer on their part. Cut the Dolphins' lead down to 2 points, but we're not able to take the lead. CSI now ahead by 6. Just under 12 minutes to go in the first half. Tynes in the corner, feeds a baseline. And Nkande with the fake, lost the ball. Players on the floor, and the Dolphins will force a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Queens. $15 on the shot clock for the Knights when they inbound the ball. As McAllister checks in for Armas. Kick it to the corner. Three-pointer on its way. Short. That was Ben Tink on that shot from the corner. Had to consult the roster. Hard to spot those numbers. The stats desk is sending me their input now. They're having a hard time as well.
I can only imagine.
And Oyekanmi was fouled. That shot appeared to be emphatically rejected initially, but the whistle came in right away.
Joe, how are his Queens College soccer kits? Could you read their numbers?
Well, I wasn't scoring the game, but I don't recall slate on slate. I can tell you right now, no SID is ever going to be a fan of a uniform like this. I think the numbers would be better off white anyway. I think it would fit the aesthetic better.
Absolutely.
Free throw by Oyekanmi, too strong. Then again, that is coming from a guy who has a rotation of, I'd say, 4 or 5 CSI items that are game day appropriate. It's been a while since we re-geared. It's been a few years. A few years and a few pounds, probably 20 pounds ago. We need a refresh.
See. A new year could bring new gear.
Let's hope so. As the Dolphins tip that pass, Oyekanmi went 1 of 2 from the line. CSI leads by 7 as we approach the midway point of the first half. Three-pointer on its way from Desmornis. It's no good, and the Dolphins have the board. Laddie, Oyakonmi, McAllister, Clancy, and Waterman, the 5 for the Dolphins. Laddie, turnaround jumper, no good. Rebounded by Oyakonmi. Waterman, open for 3, splash.
3 for 3 from 3. Waterman, unstoppable right now.
Bryce really beginning to heat up these last few games. And if you're an opponent of CSI, that puts you in a tough spot. Nice spin move and a finish off the window by Desmornis.
Beautiful job there by him on that move.
McAllister around the back. Had it poked away and stolen. Wide open 3. No good again by Desmornis. And here comes Clancy. McAllister posting up. And that's a spot that you cannot allow Jordan to get to as the floater goes.
He's so good from the mid-range to down low with the floater.
And what makes his game so prolific in the mid-range, as that pull-up will not go. Contreras didn't get the roll, but what makes McAllister so prolific from the mid-range is that he not only can score off the dribble with those pull-up jump shots and that high release point, but he can post up, back you down toward the basket, and then hit those turnaround shots, those floaters.
The high arcing shot really helps him out.
He has such a complete offensive skill set from inside the three-point line. And he can shoot the 3 if left open.
I haven't seen him take a 3-point attempt this whole season.
I believe he did last year.
Yeah, last year I feel like he took a few.
It's not a situation where he has no range. It's just not the shot he looks for. As Waterman finds Oyakonmi, and he is emphatically rejected. McAllister, too strong, and Oyakonmi was fouled. No doubt about that one.
Absolutely. Certainly a foul.
Five team fouls for the Knights. 3 on the Dolphins. So not many fouls in this first half. Waterman nearly had his inbound stolen, but Desmornis was standing on the sideline. Dolphins will try again. Dolphins once again setting up a play. Called in from the bench. Chestnut. Tough shot, won't go. Oyakonmi with the offensive board, and he may have been rejected from behind.
He's fouled again, though.
I don't think they called a foul. I think the ball landed out of bounds.
Oh, really? All right.
There was a lot of contact there, but I think that was good, strong defense by the Knights. As Michael Oyakonmi will check in to replace his brother, Adelaide Oyakonmi.
First time I've seen that this season. Typically, they always play together.
Chestnut struggling to find somewhere to go with the ball. Gets it to McAllister with 15 to shoot. Laddie. For Chestnut, Waterman wants it in the post. Bryce backs down, steps back, and is short on the jumper. Rebound tipped around, pulled in by the Knights. And a foul call goes against the Dolphins. And we will head to immediate timeout. 7:59 to go, first half. Dolphins lead by 10.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends live sports and watch parties, to Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank, where the Dolphins' lead is double figures. CSI in front by 10 points with just under 8 minutes to play in the first half. Dolphins got off to a great start. Queens answered back, but CSI in the midst of another run right now, as I believe the score was 16-14 Staten Island. Since then, 10-2 CSI run.
Good run here for them, and 10-point lead right now for the Dolphins.
It will be Queens basketball. Dolphins continuing to pressure. Knights push it up the floor. And Griffin has it now, well outside the arc. He gives it up to Diamond and gets it right back. Griffin looked up toward the basket as Lawrence was left wide open. He hands off. Queens not going anywhere right now. So Seraphin, wide open man in the corner. Lawrence off the mark, and Oyakonmi has the rebound. There was no Dolphin within 20 feet of the shooter on that attempt. They were content to leave Lawrence open as Laddie was fouled on his way to the basket.
Knights foul, 0, Sonny Diamond, his first, team 6th.
Knights foul called on Sonny Diamond, his first, team 6th. And that will send Shamar Laddie to the line for 2 shots. First free throw is good. Second free throw rolls in, and the Dolphins lead by 12. Griffin, 20 on the shot clock. He's defended by Blake Wilson, who checked in that last timeout. Three-pointer from the corner, once again short by Desmornis, and here come the Dolphins.
Blake Wilson, after his great breakout performance in the last game, getting some early playing time here.
Chestnut was blocked underneath, but Oyakonmi was fouled on the follow. First foul on Desmornis, 7th team foul. Free throw no good by Oyakonmi. Second free throw is good, and the Dolphins lead by 13. The largest lead for CSI in this game. Knights offense has gone ice cold. They appear to be well on their way back. Griffin left open, and he knocks down a 3.
A lot of space there for Griffin. He's able to step into it and knock down the 3.
That's a timely basket by Griffin. Laddie lost it. And it was knocked out of bounds by the Knights. Lawrence and Tynes can't believe it. Just under 6.5 to go in the first half. Laddie heads to the bench. Aaron Goldstein in the game for the Dolphins. Wilson can't convert inside. The follow no good, but Chestnut grabs his own miss. Waterman steps into a 3. No good. Ball loose. And it ends up in the hands of Waterman. Wilson fakes, thought about the three, and the Dolphins will slow it down. 12 to shoot. Goldstein kicks out. Chestnut almost lost it, and he does lose it out of bounds.
Frustrating possession for the Dolphins as I kept getting rebounds and ultimately come away empty-handed.
Chance here for Queens to get back to within single digits. Three-pointer on its way. No good. Rebounded by Goldstein. Goldstein in the corner. Finds Wilson for three. Off the mark. Another offensive board is negated as Chestnut had his foot on the baseline. Under 5.5 to go in the first half. Knights have slowed down the Dolphins at the offensive end just a bit these last couple of minutes, but they need to string together some baskets. Good shot fake there. Diamond almost turned it over, and he does.
Wilson right there. Pass came right at him. Easy steal for him.
Diamond drew 3 Dolphins with that fake, but couldn't get the pass away. CSI's defense in this first half has been as good as we've seen it here at home all season. Chestnut, scoop layup is good off glass.
Chestnut having a really good game, and this is usually his season, the holiday season.
Some might say that. A big basket, and it might be caroling time.
Could be.
Corner three on its way. A bit too strong by Serafin, and the Dolphins have the rebound. Goldstein to the rim. Scoop layup is good. Count it. And one.
Goldstein to the rim, and it's in. No surprise there. And Aaron will go to the free throw line.
Dolphins have gotten contributions from top to bottom in this rotation in this first half. Everyone who's played has contributed. Something to note, the Dolphins gave Messiah Mallory a brief run at the beginning of this game. We haven't seen him since.
Right now they're playing good defense, despite him being on the bench.
Free throw is good, and the Dolphins now lead by 15 in the first half. If I recall, the largest Lions lead was 15 over CSI on Wednesday. The Dolphins came back, and the bench is going to hate that turnover off the made basket by Queens, and Diamond can't make the Dolphins pay from three. Chestnut kicks out. Oyekanmi passed up the three. Goldstein steps back, bit too strong, and Oyekanmi on the offensive glass again has the rebound.
Every time I look up, it feels like he or his brother are getting an offensive rebound.
Waterman to the basket. Floater won't go. Ball loose, and last touched by the Knights.
Certainly the right call there as it went out of bounds off Elijah Blackman.
Dolphins all over the offensive glass here in this first half, and they are all over the Knights. They lead by 13.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank, where the Dolphins lead it by 13 points. Our score, Staten Island 34, Queens 21. CSI defense in this first half has forced 5 turnovers, but more notably, they have held the Knights to 33% shooting and 3 of 13 from downtown. CSI dominating on the glass and getting it done from three-point range.
Yeah, Joe, they're playing pretty well, and I'm curious to see how they close out this half and how the TLC halftime interview goes with Coach Tibbs, which last time left him speechless last Saturday game.
You have a way of doing that, apparently.
Certainly have a way with words.
As Chestnut finishes off the hop step with the left hand, the Dolphins back in front by 15. Pull-up jumper is good, and the Knights needed that one as Eric Tynes hits the mid-range shot. Now, speaking of your way with words, I took a look at the SI Live piece on you yesterday and saw you excelled in your high school speech class as Waterman's 3 may or may not be counted. We'll see.
Let's get that replay ready. But yes, I did excel in my high school speech class.
And that has, of course, helped you book guests for your You Know I'm Right podcast, along with our friend Joe Calabrese. No basket by Waterman.
Review that is what Coach Tibbs is asking for the referee to do. We got it ready to go. Let's take a look at our own in the meantime.
Yeah, let's take a look ourselves.
All right, Joe, walk everybody through it. What do you see?
Look underneath the basket for the foul. Oh, that counts. That certainly counts. They have to look at that. I mean,
so the shot was off before the foul.
Well before the foul.
Yeah.
The question is when the whistle came. We don't have that audio, but if you see the official put his arm up, that's how you can determine when the call was made.
Well, we'll take another look while our camera is...
We don't need another look, Nick. That's a good basket. I mean, there is no question that counts. All right.
I certainly won't ask Coach Tibbs about that at halftime.
You can let him know.
He might walk off on me.
You can let him know after the interview is ended that he was correct to petition for a review.
Mid-game interview.
I'm not sure.
Get the mic on the refs and let Joe take him to town.
I'm not sure if anyone other than TJ petitions for interviews. I think he might be the only one. So technically what I said was correct.
No coach's challenge, I guess, in the men's, only in women's.
You know, that was really interesting last season. They came over, and we've said this already during the season if viewers who have been with us all year have listened to that particular broadcast. But during one of the women's games last year, the officials came over and said they were at the table for a coach's challenge, which we did not know existed.
First and last time it's happened to us.
And there's a nice feed by Oya Kanmi, who finds the cutting Chestnut for 2.
Chestnut rewarded there. Great first half for him.
Heads up. Well, the Mac ended up in my lap, Nick.
Well, that's why they used to call it a laptop. Hopefully it turns back on.
It turned back on. Direct hit. Sturdy MacBook.
Well, we got to get the recording on that. We're recording the Keeler cam. We got to see what that looks like.
You know, it's still going. We definitely have a view of that.
Oh, that's going to be great. I think I kind of ducked.
My life flashed before my eyes on that one. I don't know.
I'm always worried that the players are going to topple over us.
That's CSI's MacBook, so they have to fix it.
Well, the Keeler cam survived that one as your MacBook went down into the lap.
Too bad replay wasn't enabled. Could have gotten a second look. Now, what we're doing, for those who don't know, as that three-pointer by Griffin goes down, and it's a 12-point game. Big shot again for Griffin and the Knights. He's hit a couple of big threes to slow the CSI momentum, but we have a second laptop that preserves our audio only. So the game is being recorded to a second laptop. And that laptop is using the FaceTime camera as the camera feed. That's Waterman. Splash!
Another one, Joe! That should have been his 5th of the game, was 4th 3 of the game for Waterman.
We're not going to let that one go. As Griffin is incensed. Now, a spectator was signaling their displeasure in front of our main camera. I'm not sure exactly what that was. We had a mysterious hand emerge on the right side of the lens. This is Chestnut.
Was it?
Double teamed. Oyekanmi in the corner. Rattles out. And the Knights have the rebound.
Strong first half for the Dolphins. Waterman leading the way with 12 points. Chestnut right behind him with 8. McAllister with 8 as well. And all this, Joe, with Mallory on the bench since early on. Only 6 minutes for Mallory.
Mallory left the game, I believe it was against Georgian Court with the injury. And after that,
so what I noticed is on that play earlier where we thought that the ball was going out of bounds on the Dolphins down here to our left and ended up being out of bounds on Queens, I saw him come down a little off on the ankle. So maybe that was the play there that maybe sent him to the bench with some discomfort. But he was playing well in those 6 minutes.
Certainly was. And the play that stood out to me when he was on the floor was at the offensive end, where he came down awkwardly after a shot attempt. Waterman spins, turnaround jumper on its way, too strong off back iron. Entry pass goes inside, and Jamison kicked it right back out. Diamond in the corner. 12 to shoot. Almost threw it into the backcourt. Griffin looks up at the shot clock. 5 to shoot. And Griffin can't connect from distance. Dolphins have the last shot if they want it. The shot clock is still on. And CSI will call timeout. Dolphins will use their 30-second timeout here to diagram a play and the final 23.8 in this first half.
We'll see. I guess they're going to probably take this down here, hold for the last shot. Not much differential here between the clocks, so there's no shot clock left now at this point. 23.8 left in the half. We'll see what they draw up here, Joe. And I think if the ball gets in Bryce Waterman's hands, it's a safe bet. He's going to shoot it and potentially make it in. As you look at some replays now of a Bryce Waterman step-back three, which has been such a deadly move for him this season.
Waterman has been fantastic once again in this first half. He has 12 points, 4 of 8 from the field, a perfect 4-4 from downtown. Next leading scorer for the Dolphins, Chestnut and McAllister, both with 8.
This is the big three-point unit squad right now. Goldstein, Armas, Clancy, Waterman, and Chestnut.
That has to be tough for a defense. No way for them to know where the ball is going to go. Dolphins get into their offensive set here. It's Waterman on the wing. Waterman was doubled. Finds the cutting Chestnut, and he is fouled as he looked to throw it down.
Imagine Chestnut slam that home. I would have had to sing for that, Joe.
I would have sung with you. That would have been an all-time Sportsnet moment. If he threw that down, I would have been singing with you.
Wow, I didn't know Chestnut was even had attempting a dunk in him. But he goes to the free throw line here. That was a nice feed there by Waterman as well.
You know, it's a funny story. I was in the gym testing equipment before the season started. And JJ was the lone Dolphin in here, and he was practicing some dunks. I looked at him and I said, I miss the days when I could do that. And there technically were days when I could do that.
You used to dunk, Joe, back in the day.
I used to dunk on 9'10".
All right.
If I had a coach for a week who could teach me proper jumping technique in high school, I would have been able to dunk 10 feet, no problem.
How about that?
All that plyometrics work is part of the P90X program.
Maybe I'll pull out a dunk in the
I will not.
Students First faculty and staff.
In high school, I was 145. I'm about 195 now, so we're
extra
not
muscle
dunking.
On the legs.
Too much extra muscle on the legs. 2 seconds to go in the half. Griffin's shot would count, and it does not go.
Well, Tibbs is petitioning for an interview, and he's going to get it. He's running over here.
He's coming over quickly. We'll be right back with the TLC Physical Therapy Halftime Report. And we are back from the tank for the TLC Physical Therapy Halftime Report. Nick is joined on the floor by men's basketball head coach TJ Tibbs.
All right, thanks, Joe. Here at Coach Tibbs. Coach, great first half here. Bryce Waterman leading the way scoring-wise, picking up where he's left off the last few games.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by how he's a worker. So he's scoring at 3 levels now, which is making him hard to guard. When he came in here, he was known as a dead-eye shooter. He broke a record of Gerard Nicholson's record that stood for, I think, over 30 years. And now he's starting to get to the mid-range, get to the basket, post up a little bit, makes him hard to guard, makes him a true scorer. But what goes underestimated about him and what he's doing, he's playing good defense. He's keeping us together, so that's impressive. But, very happy with how he's playing.
Great defensive effort overall by the team. A lot of explosive being shown by J.J. Chestnut today, taking the ball to the rim. I think the tank would have fell apart if he slammed that one home there at the end of the half. But how impressed have you been with his effort this afternoon?
It's all him, man. I got to let him hoop. He knows what that means. I got to let him hoop. I got to let him go. And you've seen it in the second half of the Malloy game. He's taking that into this game. And, we know what he's capable of. We've seen it all last year. But it's been my fault that getting that kid out of rhythm with how we've been playing a little bit and whatnot. But love when he's playing like this. Well, love when he's aggressive. We'll take the mistakes he makes as long as he's making them aggressively. And he's playing good defense, too, so I'm happy with that.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot for your time. Best luck in the second half.
Thanks for having me.
All right, over to you.
All right, thank you, Nick. That is our TLC Physical Therapy Halftime Report with men's basketball head coach TJ Tibbs. We have another halftime performance from the CSI dance team coming up, so we'll get the banner off the floor and be right back with the rest of today's NCAA Division II men's basketball matchup. She Aesthetics Med Spa and Wellness Center. Our approach to beauty and wellness begins with a holistic plan tailored to the unique needs of our patients. When we consult with patients, we let them tell us what their problem is. We don't tell them what the issue is. We find out what they're looking for, and we discuss, and then we give them options. If you're looking to achieve radiant skin, you've come to the right place. We offer hydrofacials, microneedling, Opus Plasma, peels, facial and laser treatments, laser hair removal, body sculpting, fat freezing, hormone replacement therapy, Botox, IV drip therapy, and more. We are You'll hear it over this. You ready? He turned it off. Up there.
I know that.
I know, I just looked at it.
I can't see. I don't think I want to watch.
You don't.
Basketball has a special place in my heart because of the experiences it has given me and the purpose I have found along the way. Basketball taught me that success doesn't require perfection. Rather, I should pursue excellence in everything that I do. Basketball has led me on a journey where I've accumulated numerous life lessons to value relationships, practice integrity, and demonstrate commitment. I've learned to welcome mistakes and not only accept adversity, but embrace it. It has the unique effect of eliciting talents in someone which would have otherwise lain dormant. It is something that builds character, an element that is essential to a player's growth and development. You sometimes wonder if all the mornings and late nights are really worth it. Then you look to your left and right, and you see your teammates beside you, and you know you're not alone. And it's comforting. When you're part of a team, there's a special joy in playing for something bigger than yourself. Basketball taught me how to embrace a community. Like music, it brings people together. When you make contributions to your team, your program, it's a rewarding feeling knowing the impact you have on the larger community when you observe how much it inspires the people around you.
Dear basketball, I was only a few months old when I took my first photograph with a ball in my lap. From that moment on, you never left me. Growing up in a small village in upstate New York, 2 miles from the Canadian border, you were my constant go-to for fun and entertainment. No matter if there was 3 feet of snow or the sun was scorching hot, I always found a way to be with you as you brought me so much joy. As a child, you always had a way of bringing the neighborhood kids together. Every day we would find our way to the circular paved patio I had in my yard with an 8-foot rim nailed to a tree. It wasn't the classiest court to play on, but it worked for us, and it's where my passion for you began. Little did I know you would take my friends and family on a journey of a lifetime. It was from you where I learned to be brave, courageous, and adventurous, that if I stuck with it through my moments of failure, disappointment, and heartache, I could achieve anything I'd put my mind to. Like attending Duke University on a full scholarship where I was able to surround myself in greatness both in the classroom and on the court. It is here where I truly learned how to step out of my comfort zone and discover what I was made of, refusing to let my insecurities and fears hold me back. Gail Gestencourse and her incredible staff, along with my teammates, gave me a family away from home that I could have never dreamt of as a little girl. The ACC championships, the NCAA tournaments, including the national championship game in 1999, cannot match the friendships and relationships I developed because of basketball. See, I find it to be the relationships that we develop through our sports participation that are in fact the most meaningful and memorable. Basketball, you have given me a life team that I can never repay you for. You have supplied me with a platform that allows me to give back, to inspire, motivate, and encourage individuals to go after their passions, to push through their failures and be fearless in stepping out of their comfort zones. It was because of you I was able to start my first company with co-founder Colleen Healy from UConn Women's Basketball called Orca Leadership. Orca standing for opportunity, resilience, contribution, and accountability. All 4 pillars we learned from playing your game. Even further, we were able to start up our own academy called Beyond the Game Academy, helping athletes across the country reach their dreams. I could have never imagined this life, and I have you to thank. Thank you, basketball.
The opportunities that basketball provided for me has been crazy. Being able to travel all over the world, to even a different country, just being able to meet so many different people and build so many different relationships has definitely just opened so many doors for me.
Opportunities that basketball has provided me, just to meet a lot of people, travel a lot of places, around the world and also around the country. It's just, a great experience to make me a more well-rounded person.
Just being able to learn from my teammates, learning really what sacrifice is about, learning about hard work, just being a part of a team, having that support group, having somebody that's there to support you no matter what. It's been great.
Basketball has given me a lot of opportunities. Obviously, just traveling and coming here, this is special. And we went to Spain over the summer, and I had never been out the country before that, so it was special. And obviously, just giving me a free education. It's a big thing, and I'm glad basketball has been able to do it for me.
It's provided a lot of opportunities, provided me to get a college degree, travel places that I never thought I would travel to, and just meet new people.
I'd say basketball has just provided me with a variety of opportunities. I mean, just the connections that I made in the Purdue community, and kind of just growing as a player and as a person has. I'm definitely blessed and grateful to have all these opportunities.
Dear basketball, since I was a kid, you have always been a way for me to clear my mind of everything going on in life and just have fun playing and competing. You led me to CNU, where I've become a part of a close-knit basketball family. You've let me build relationships with my brothers that not many people get to experience, and these relationships have been able to grow and will certainly last a lifetime. You have taught me that this sport is more than getting the best stats or winning the most games, but it's about enjoying the experience, making a difference in the community, and always competing at my highest level. Through great leadership from Coach K and other coaches, you have given me top-of-the-line resources to learn not only about the game, but about life and being a man of integrity and humility. I would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for you, and I am forever grateful for the lessons you have taught me and the memories that I will have for the rest of my life.
College basketball has provided me with a platform to not only have fun on the court and be around some amazing teammates, but also kind of supplement academics with just another side of the Notre Dame experience, because sports are such an important part of the tradition there, and being a part of the Notre Dame sports tradition in any way is just an incredible honor. It's amazing. I mean, just being here all week, there's just so much recognition for such an amazing sport and such amazing teams that are here, and to be a part of that in any small way is just incredible, and I'm so lucky to be here. Just the value of determination, perseverance, and self-confidence in getting where you want to go in life. I've definitely learned a lot being around a team of such strong, inspiring women, and I can only hope to emulate their talent on the basketball court and other parts of my life. I'm a computer science major in Notre Dame's College of Engineering, and I was really drawn to it because I've always kind of loved math and science, and it's a really fun way to apply problem-solving skills to different situations, especially in today's day and age where technology is becoming such an integral part of society. Just figuring out different ways I can contribute to that, I'm really excited to see where it'll take me in the future. I mean, I think just the general mindset of approaching something from how can I solve this in not only the best way but the most efficient way, because there's a big emphasis on that in a lot of my classes, and just kind of seeing how the sports world and the academic world can overlap, even with just the GPS things that we wear during practice to keep track of how hard we're working. Just the technology behind that is super interesting to me also. When I first came to campus, I was hoping to get involved in the women's basketball program in some way, and I applied to be a manager, and I thought that would be an awesome opportunity, super excited. And then I got an email about walk-on tryouts. I'm like, oh, this would be a great way to go meet other girls to play pickup with. I had no idea it would lead to any of this, trust me, but I'm so glad it has. And after that, that's how I met some of the women's basketball people and how I got connected to be a team manager for the program. So I started doing that first semester of my freshman year, and then, as you probably know the story, last year with the 4 ACL tears, they just needed another practice player kind of thing. So I turned from a manager to a walk-on and got the opportunity to go in some games, just help the team out any way I could. And that was an incredible ride, obviously ending with the championship last season, which was amazing. And then same thing this year, kind of just some injuries happened and they need someone to step up. So, I mean, I'm here to be whatever they need me to be, and I'm so blessed to be a part of this program in any way. Kind of going between the manager and walk-on role, I mean, it is a different type of thing I'm doing, but it's still being around the same girls every day and just being around the team. And for me, that was such a valuable thing. And again, I guess my passion for basketball and how much I just love the sport kind of made that seem easy. Not really something I thought about a ton, just because every day it wasn't about what I could do. It was just about kind of getting out and playing the game I love every day and just being around it in any way.
Basketball has given me everything in my life. It's given me a chance to get a college education. It gives my families to take trips to these cool tournaments we go to, and most importantly, my relationships with the people I've met throughout the years, and Coach Izzo down to my junior high coach. It's provided me with great relationships with teammates and guys that I'll be talking to for the rest of my life.
Basketball has provided me with just obviously the education portion of it is huge, and also just the relationships I was able to build with my teammates, guys on different teams that go to my school, like the football team and the soccer team. There's also just the relationships that I'm able to build outside of, athletics, and that's just, I believe that's huge, just being able to go and meet new people, especially at a big university like Ohio State, and just kind of get your network around and just see the way different people think and react to things.
I'd say basketball provided me with, I guess, the opportunity just to be around good people and meet people that can help me in life and give me a free education and be able to somewhat set myself up for a better life.
It has offered me opportunity to go to college, to leave my hometown, travel the world, build outstanding relationships and friendships. I'm forever grateful and owe a lot of gratitude to the game of basketball and to God for putting the basketball in my hands. So basketball has really blessed me a lot.
And we are back from the tank for the start of the second half between the College of Staten Island and Queens College. Dolphins got off to a very strong start. Queens responded with a run to pull to within 2, but the Dolphins ended the second half very strong. They scored the last 5 points in the first half to go ahead by 17, and they take a 43-26 lead into the second half. It will be Knights basketball first as they look to stage a comeback, much like the Dolphins did in their last game on Wednesday at Malloy.
As we spoke about at the halftime show with Coach Timms, Waterman and Chestnut with great first halves. McAllister also 8 points.
Quick 2 points for Benting to open up the second half. Knights back to within 15. Messiah Mallory back in for the Dolphins. He started but did not play many minutes in the first half.
Well, it was like a Willis Reed-like performance. And the next win their championship. 6 minutes, two shots, 1 basket, and just gave the Dolphins the energy they needed in that first half.
Well, one might call it a cameo for Messiah to open up the game, but the Dolphins looking to ease him back into the lineup. Got him a few minutes. He played 7 in the first half, scored a couple of points. Actually had 2 quick fouls. I didn't realize that Messiah had picked up 2 fouls so early.
So that's why he was on the bench.
That's probably why. Lost in the hype around his return was the fact that he picked up 2 fouls. This is Waterman with 3 to shoot, kicks out. Mallory has it, and that's off the bracing above the backboard.
So Joe, what are the scorers going to give that? A shot clock violation, right? You're not going to give Mallory a shot attempt.
Did he get it off? I'd be inclined
I think
to say
he did, but I don't know. I guess it didn't hit in time. I don't know.
It was close. They gave a shot clock violation.
Okay.
And I think the official did signal that by patting on top of their head. So that's the right scoring over at the stats desk.
It never hit the rim, the shot. So
true. So it really wouldn't matter whether or not he got it off since it didn't hit the rim. Layup no good, contested by Mallory, but on the follow, Benting is able to score, and just like that, the Knights are back to within 13. Goldstein spins, finds McAllister open. Jordan to short. Here come the Knights looking to push, and that's a great feed, followed by a two-handed slam from Jaden Seraphin.
Seraphin's eyes lit up there when he had that open path to the hoop, and he slams it home.
Can't ask for much more than that in transition. An easy two-handed slam. Chestnut wanted Mallory. It was tipped and last touched by Queens.
So I did check in with Mark to check out Marquise and Petrides High School. Their game started at 3 p.m., so we will not have an answer as to how his team is doing. Good luck to Marquise, the wide receivers coach for Petrides High School in the championship football game.
I was dropping dimes to Marquise in the students versus faculty staff football game as that shot was rejected by Queens. And the Knights have come out with great energy here in the second half. Fake pass, and Benting's jumper won't go. Offensive rebound once again, and the putback is good by Lawrence.
Great job here by the Knights to start the second half.
Griffin with the steal. Floater off the window and in for Seraphin. Timeout, Dolphins. Big run by Queens to start this second half. 8-0 stretch. Make it 12-0 for Queens. Our stats can't keep up. Knights back to within 7. CSI calls timeout, leading 43-36.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials. Check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
We are back from the tank. Dolphins' lead has been trimmed down to 7 as the Knights have scored the first 10 points. I mistakenly said 12. So the game trends and our split box score via the live stats update ahead of the actual score. As Waterman will try a 3, and that's a big basket for Bryce Waterman.
Bryce, baby, in the corner there. Knocking down the big 3.
That was a fall-away 3 with a hand right in his face. Knocked it down immediately in front of the CSI bench, and the Dolphins lead by double digits once again. Bentinck looking for somewhere to go with it. It's taken away by Chestnut. JJ to the basket, and he lays it up and in.
Nice job there by Chestnut on both sides of the court.
Dolphins with a nice answer out of the timeout. Griffin to the rim, and he finishes. Dolphins look to push it, but Goldstein will wait for his teammates. Finds Mallory on the baseline. Waterman was left open, and he finds a cutting Chestnut for an easy 2 points.
Well, Coach Tibbs said at halftime he's got to let Chestnut hoop. He's got to let Chestnut ball. And right now, Chestnut is balling out.
Back-to-back nice games for Chestnut, as that basket is good through contact. Count it, as Malik Bentinck will head to the line for one more.
Well, we talked about it pretty much every broadcast this year, Joe, but with the depth now on this roster, there's a lot less pressure on Chestnut to have to be the ball handler or to have to shoot the three-pointers, so he's able to do everything else, and it's paying off for him here today.
Additional depth benefits just about everyone out there on the floor for this Dolphins team. Their lead is 10 points. Media timeout with 15:59 to go in the game.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we are back from the College of Staten Island, where the Dolphins' lead is 10 points. But Malik Bentinck has a chance to make it a single-digit score. Single-digit lead, I should say. And that won't do it, as McAllister rebounds the missed free throw. Chestnut crosses over on Lawrence and kicks out to Mallory. No good from three. Rebound thrown off the scoreboard by Seraphin. I'm not sure I've ever seen that.
Sky high.
The in-house scoreboard here at the Tank is probably about 15 or 20 feet off the ground. Though my family hates it if I say the ground when I'm indoors. So about 20 feet off the floor to appease them if they're listening.
Off the floor.
It is technically the floor.
I would say this is probably level with the ground outside. You walk right in and you're here.
This area of the island, one of the high points in terms of elevation, as that one was headed straight for the camera. Question is, did Tyler flinch as Goldstein banks that shot in?
Goldstein to the rim there. Lays it in.
Dolphins' lead is 12 points. This is Diamond. He's about to be double teamed. Griffin with a nice feed inside, and Seraphin finishes the layup.
Seraphin has been on the receiving end of some good passes, which has led to some easy points for him this afternoon.
Goldstein trapped in the paint and coughed it up. Here comes Griffin. Floater. Off back iron and tipped out of bounds by the Dolphins. Adelaide Oyekanmi will check in. Jordan McAllister to the Dolphins bench. And the official coming between Lawrence and Bryce Waterman here. Inbound goes to the perimeter. Benting faked the handoff, got right to the basket, but couldn't finish with the left hand. Here comes Goldstein. As Mallory was tripped up there on the way up the floor. Waterman, deep three-pointer, no good. And for Bryce, I believe that's his first miss from downtown.
I think he missed one other one, so that's probably the second one.
Now, for the sake of ensuring we call the game both ways, for fans of Queens, on that fast break on the way up the floor, Goldstein did something not as blatant as what we saw earlier, but he definitely, with that hesitation dribble, may have carried the basketball just a bit. Just to make sure everyone knows we call it both ways, as we have a foul away from the ball. And it looks like the officials are going to get on top of this as this game is growing increasingly physical in the second half. Very often when student athletes aren't on campus and everyone goes home for the holiday around Thanksgiving, they do come back for classes which don't end until later in the month. But a lot of the time, these December home games, tough draw. Not so this season.
Well, the next two are probably going to be a tough draw.
I don't know about next week, the 16th perhaps, because finals, I think, are underway at that point.
16th will be rough, and the 30th will be a ghost town here.
The 30th, I do not anticipate a large crowd.
I also anticipate a small crowd on Super Bowl Sunday.
I'm with you, and there's a good chance I'm not here on Super Bowl Sunday. The conference should have taken that weekend off. And if you're...
They're not going to take the weekend off, but take Sunday off. Play Saturday like you usually do.
Well, the reason they don't take Sunday off is because they do their two doubleheaders Friday and Sunday. So when you have Damon and Deauville come down to this area, they'll play CSI and they'll play Queens. One game on Friday, one game on Sunday.
Could have worked it out Thursday, Saturday.
They should have worked it out where they played each other that weekend. But I'm sure for somebody, there's a more inconvenient weekend. As Goldstein knocks down the three off the big crossover, and the Dolphins lead by 13.
Joe, don't you know that it's the golden hour? Aaron Goldstein knocking down his first three of the game.
I did not know that, but thank you.
So I got my watch here.
All right.
Keep an eye on the time.
Seraphin kicks out to the corner. Hop jumper is good along the baseline. As Shamar Chester nets that for 2 points. Feed to Mallory results in what appeared to be a potential goaltend, but instead that will be a block credited to Nkande. But we have a foul right around half court. And the Dolphins are going to get the ball back here. So CSI will inbound from alongside their own bench. Took a look toward the bench to see who was coming into the game and lost what happened over there as Goldstein can't get that last step back to go rebound to the Knights. And on the break, Chester has two more. Shamar Chester trying to ignite this Knights offense. He scored the last four. Queens back to within single digits, but J.J. Chestnut changes that.
Chestnut is percolating in this game. He's getting hot.
Post-game sing-along, perhaps, if the Dolphins hold on?
If they win, I promised you and Nick Pavone on our last broadcast that I would get J.J. to sing along with me.
All right. J.J. is a good interview as we have a foul underneath, and the call goes against Queens again. So that's 14 fouls on the Knights.
All right. Well, if we have a halftime, a post-game interview, we're going to need a lot of time for it. So hopefully not everybody rushes over to help you with the sign like at the halftime, because then it's too many cooks in the kitchen. We got to make sure we're efficient and quick.
I'll give them a break today because typically our shot clock operator and statisticians come over and move the backdrop. The numbers are a bit hard to read as Laddie finds Mallory trailing, and Mallory throws it down with two hands.
Mallory slams it home, and Tyler is flexing on Queens College. I wish we had that on the Keeler cam, the booth cam.
Dolphins in front by 13 now as that dunk has ignited the tank. Three-pointer no good by Chester. Rebound goes to Queens. And this time the three-pointer is good from the top of the arc by Contreras.
Contreras, former University of Bridgeport player, knocking down a big three to silence the crowd after the Mallory slam.
There's one thing Queens has done very well in this game. First of all, they've worked their way out of an early shooting hole. But secondly, they've had some timely three-pointers along the way. Just 5 of 19 from three-point range, but those 5 threes have come at very important moments in this game for the Knights. And they are back to within 10 again. We'll be right back. CSI leads 59-49. And we are back from the tank with 11:20 remaining in this game. Dolphins lead at 59-49. And it will be CSI basketball as they inbound from in front of their own bench. 20 on the shot clock for the Dolphins. Shamar Laddie in the game along with Mallory, Clancy, Chestnut, and Oyakonmi. Mallory gets right to the rim but can't finish. And the rebound goes to Nkande. Big crossover by Chester. He kicks out. Pass off target for Desmornis. Contreras toward the top of the arc. Chester kicks out again. 8 to shoot. Desmornis had it poked away. Now Contreras to the basket, drops it off inside, and that is rejected by Oyakonmi. Shot clock violation.
No, 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 not today. Oyakonmi swats that one away.
The Oyakonmi brothers defensively have been a force around the rim when they've been in games. Haven't seen much of Michael today.
Well, we got to see a replay of that when we get the chance, and here it is.
An emphatic rejection on what looked like it was about to be an easy 2 points. Great recovery by Oyakonmi, rotating defensively. Chestnut takes it inside and can't get the bank shot to go. Those have been going down for JJ all game. Entry pass. Bentink working against Mallory. Had it poked off his leg. Dolphins force another turnover.
Still anybody's game. 10 minutes to go. 10-point game. Could go either way. The next 5 minutes are going to tell us a big story in this one.
Dolphins lead by double figures. The lead has been steady between 7 and 12 points in the second half. Chestnut into the corner for Oyakonmi. He looks to back in and was fouled.
Next foul, 0, Sonny Diamond, his 4th personal foul.
That free throw is too strong by Oyakonmi. Dolphins are now 9 of 13 from the line. Queens has not hit a single free throw in this game on 3 tries.
Yeah, only getting to the line 3 times. Not a winning recipe usually.
And that's a lane violation.
Well, I think the pump fake there was on the level of Aaron Rodgers and got a false start there of the Dolphins.
He got everyone on that fake.
Everybody violated the lane.
So the Dolphins don't get any points from the line on that trip. Their lead remains 10. Knights had numbers for a moment, and that's an offensive foul as Mallory stood his ground and took the charge.
Great job there by Mallory to plant his feet.
Well, the foul tally now becoming very skewed in this game. The Dolphins have only been whistled for 8 fouls. That last one was number 17 against Queens.
Right now I'm looking at Bentinick. He's chirping away at Mallory after that one. Mallory not responding, though.
Mallory was waiting under the basket, and Bentink spun right into him. He now has 4 fouls. Sonny Diamond already had 4 fouls. So a lot of foul trouble for Queens right now. Both of those players still in the game, as it will stay Dolphins basketball. And they will send Diamond to the bench for now. Diamond held without any points in this game. Played well against the Dolphins last season. Inbound goes to Clancy. His first shot is good.
Well, we saw in the last game where Clancy scored 8 straight points. There's 3. Let's see what happens.
Clancy is a very streaky player. Doesn't take long to get going. And once he knocks down a couple in a row, you can't give him any room. Feed inside off the double team. And the layup won't go. Lawrence couldn't convert. And that hustle by the Dolphins earns them possession. CSI by 13. Under 9 minutes to play in the second half. Laddie for Oyakonmi. Hand off to Chestnut. Now Mallory in the post. Lefty layup, good off glass. Dolphins by 15 now. Long pass into the corner. That 3 rolls off the rim. Knights have been held scoreless for over 3 minutes now. Dolphins wisely utilizing the shot clock here. Still plenty of time left in this game, but the Dolphins in no rush, and they turn it over. And that will send us to a media timeout inside of 8 minutes to go. Our score, Staten Island 64, Queens 49. Chi Aesthetics Med Spa and Wellness Center. Our approach to beauty and wellness begins with a holistic plan tailored to the unique needs of our patients. When we consult with patients, we let them tell us what their problem is. We don't tell them what the issue is. We find out what they're looking for, and we discuss, and then we give them options. If you're looking to achieve radiant skin, you've come to the right place. We offer hydrofacials, microneedling, Opus Plasma, peels, facial and laser treatments, laser hair removal, body sculpting, fat freezing, hormone replacement therapy, Botox, IV drip therapy, and more. We are open Monday through Saturday and are located at 720 Forest Avenue, Staten Island, New York, 10310. We hope to see you soon. Visit our website at www.chiaesthetics.com for more information. And we are back from the tank where the Dolphins lead by 15 points with 7:48 to go in the second half. Dolphins looking to close out their second straight conference win. The Knights hope to have something to say about that. They need a late scoring run, and they have possession with 20 on the shot clock ahead of that inbound. Chester, defended by Clancy, was forced to give it up. This is Griffin. Hesitation, and his floater was rejected by Laddie, but a foul on the second attempt with just 1 second remaining on the shot clock.
Rough break there. That foul coming with 1 second left.
Dolphins foul for Shamar Laddie, his first, team's third.
First free throw is good. And for the Knights, that is their first point from the free throw line in this game. Second free throw won't go. Dolphins lead by 14. That ball got away from Laddie. Here comes Griffin to the basket. Nice Euro step, and he finishes the layup.
Back down to 12 now, the deficit.
Knights coming out of that last media timeout with a pair of good possessions. And a foul was called against Griffin, and that will send Shamar Laddie to the line for a 1-and-1.
8 fouls for Queens now. And 7 minutes left in this game, so Dolphins could be able to take advantage here from the free throw line.
Said it before, the Dolphins 9 of 13 from the line thus far. They are shooting 48% from the field and 64% from downtown. It's tough to lose with shooting numbers like that. Just about every offensive category is either very close or favors the Dolphins.
Queens only 5 for 20 from three-point range, and that's certainly hurt them in this game.
Second free throw rattles out. Oyekanmi with another offensive board. Oyekanmi now with 5 offensive rebounds. Mallory looks to post up, and the hook shot won't go. That's tipped by Clancy.
Great defense by Clancy.
That will force the Knights to speed up a bit off of this inbound. .26 on the shot clock, so the Knights will have about 6 seconds to get it across the timeline. And Clancy commits a quick foul.
Dolphins foul number 14, Chris Clancy, his first team score.
Fresh 30-second shot clock now for the Knights. Griffin uses the screen. Oyekanmi right with him. And Griffin was fouled. So the Dolphins now have picked up a couple of quick fouls. And you don't want to put the Knights in the bonus when you're leading by 13 unnecessarily here.
Certainly want to try to avoid that.
Dolphins may just be 2 or 3 stops away as they commit a third foul in about 20 seconds.
Dolphins foul number 23, Messiah Mallory, his third, team sixth.
Third foul for Mallory, who had the 2 early on.
And if you're the Dolphins coaching staff, you have to be pretty encouraged with how this team has played, not only with Messiah on the floor, but without him as well. Last season, without Mallory on the floor, this team had a really tough time staying consistent at both ends of the floor. But last year in the conference tournament, they were forced to be without him following some early foul trouble, and they staged a comeback.
This year, so much depth. We keep talking about it. There's a lot of great pieces, and the Oyekanmi brothers do a great job.
And there's an easy 2 for Goldstein.
Goldstein right to the basket, and he easily lays it in.
But at the other end, the Knights missed 2 free throws, and now they're trapped, turn it over, and Goldstein lays it in.
Well, Joe, like I said, it's the golden hour, and the Dolphins are going to force the Knights to call a timeout here.
CSI leads by 17. 5:46 to go in the second half.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials. Check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
And we are back from the tank where the Dolphins' lead has extended to 17 points. Our score, Staten Island 69, Queens 52, 5:46 to go in this second half. And Nick, Dolphins here in the second half had a bit of a shaky start, but much like the Knights did after falling behind in the first half, CSI has responded well to an early Queens run here in the second half.
They certainly have. They had all the answers, and right now ahead 69-52 with 5:46 remaining.
Largest lead of the game for the Dolphins, who steal another inbound pass. And this last 2 minutes has been a disaster for Queens. It all started with 2 missed free throws, and they've turned it over a couple of times. Goldstein for Oyekanmi. Armas thought about the 3, and Mallory is whistled for a 3-second violation. Knights push it up the floor quickly. And I'm not sure if that was blocked or if it was off the side of the rim on the attempt by Benting. Cross-court pass, Armas. No good from 3. Mallory nearly had the rebound. It was knocked out of his hands. That ball was stripped away, and it is stolen by Oyekanmi. Now, if you look at the offensive stats, you're not going to see Oyekanmi's impact on this game, but he has been huge for the Dolphins off the bench.
Absolutely. He's constantly getting his hand on the ball. He's just making a tremendous impact on this one. He's got 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Great job for him.
And Adelaide will head to the line. Now, I think they did signal 1-1, which is correct. And Oyekanmi hits the free throw. Second free throw is good. And the Dolphins, once again, growing their largest lead of the game. CSI in front by 19 with under 5 minutes to go. Quick double on Diamond, who appeared he was fouled. And the Dolphins come away with the rebound off that miss. If the Dolphins manage the clock properly, they should be able to cruise to a win in this one. Though I've been known to be the commentator's jinx, so don't take my word for it. As that ball is tipped into the front row. Obviously, the Dolphins play Queens twice per season. Last year, they lost the first meeting, which did not come until early January. Then less than a month later, the two teams met again here at the tank as Waterman lays that in for 2. And in that second meeting, both teams were vying for playoff positioning. The Knights basically had their season on the line in that game and were unable to come away with the win. Dolphins took that victory by 6, moved on to make the playoffs. But CSI will take the win in the first meeting this year should this score hold, with CSI in front by 21. And it will be on to Mercy. Coming up on Wednesday, the Dolphins take on the Mavericks in Dobbs Ferry. And then we're back here next Saturday when CSI will face St. Thomas Aquinas College in what will be a big conference test for them here at the tank.
Huge test. St. Thomas Aquinas coming back into this building for their third game of the season, so they're familiar with the surroundings here, and they were very successful when they came down for the Tournament of Heroes earlier in the school year.
First meeting last season, Spartans beat the Dolphins by 14. In the second meeting, Stack won by 41. Oof. So the Dolphins will hope to avenge that. And something tells me that we won't see a result like that again, as Mallory fouled Griffin. And once again, the Knights can get to the line. With the clock stopped, can shave a point or two off this Dolphins lead, but that will have to wait. Our final media timeout of the game comes with 3:50 to go. Dolphins lead 73-54 late in the second half. Are back with 3:50 to play in the second half. Dolphins with a big lead, looking to close out their second conference victory of the season. And if they do, both men's and women's basketball will be 2-0 in conference play in the first week of ECC competition.
Good start for both teams within conference play so far.
Two free throws coming up for Dante Griffin, and the first is good. Griffin, the leading scorer for the Knights, with 14 points. You spoke about it with me in the first half. You mentioned it to head coach TJ Tibbs, but the Dolphins' defense in this game, big part of the reason they were able to build that large lead. They've forced 17 turnovers. At times have been a bit sloppy with the ball, 15 of their own, but that's really the lone blemish on their stat line. When they shoot as well as they have, 49% from the field and 58% from downtown, they're going to be almost impossible to beat. Goldstein's layup won't go, but McAllister has the putback.
McAllister there to clean it up, but he's got 10 points now.
4 Dolphins have scored in double figures. The only starter who has not scored at least 10 is Messiah Mallory, and it looks like his afternoon is done. He's on the bench in his pullover, so I think he's played his final minutes as Waterman just got smacked across the face by Chester.
Yikes.
He took a shot there, did Bryce.
Should we ask JJ about that in the post-game interview?
Bryce will go to the line for 2 shots. Dolphins now in the double bonus. Bryce is off on that free throw. Second is good.
Good afternoon for Waterman. 18 points in this one, following up on his recent scoring streaks, leading the team in scoring as of late.
Sean Hargrave into the game for the Dolphins with 3 minutes to go.
Waterman, potentially a nominee for East Coast Conference Player of the Week.
Dolphins may have an opportunity to sweep those awards depending on the results from around the conference.
Smart play there by Chestnut.
With most teams not playing more than 2 games in a week at any point in the season, in fact, I don't think that happens at all over the course of a year from Monday through Sunday. I don't think you'll ever see more than 2 games. With that kind of scheduling, a lot of the time it comes down to one monster performance. As that ball was poked away from Chestnut.
And you got 2 monster performances by the same people for men's and women's. Ashley Lambert, 2 monster games in a row, and Bryce Waterman, 2 great games in a row.
I think Lambert has a great shot, and Waterman as well. 2-0 never hurts. If it's close, the team that won both games, I think, typically gets the nod. But we'll see. As McAllister can't get the post up to go down. Tried the floater. Dolphins by 20 with 2.5 to play. Nice feed on that cut inside by Jamison, and he scores. Contreras with the assist. Just over 2 minutes to go from the tank. McAllister looks up at the shot clock. Dolphins have 10 to shoot. Michael Oyakami to the basket. No good. Rebound by the Knights. And there's a steal by Chestnut. Chestnut drops it off. Hargrave converts the layup.
Nice steal there, and Chestnut with his 6th assist this afternoon, and gets Hargrave his first points of the game.
And you touched on it with the assist numbers, but something that perhaps we don't talk about enough, J.J. Chestnut, such an unselfish player. Even when he's not scoring, always manages to help the Dolphins win, as Hargrave will not be credited with a shot attempt there. The foul came before he went up. But it doesn't matter, as Queens has committed more than 10 team fouls. Hargrave will have 2 shots at the line.
Next foul, number 32, Eric Tynes, his first personal foul.
JJ stat line today, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. And he will head to the bench for the final time with 1:21 remaining. Free throw too strong. And a foul was called against the Dolphins, so we're heading right back over the other way to the free throw line once again.
Trading places. Free throw line to free throw line.
Don't look so excited, Nick. It's a 1-and-1 at the line. It will be Desmornis shooting. And the first is good. So as I mentioned before, next up for the Dolphins at Mercy on Wednesday. We're back here at the Tank next weekend on Saturday. Dolphins will take on St. Thomas Aquinas College. And then after that, an extended break from conference play. The Dolphins will not play another conference game after next Saturday until January 12th.
Wow.
There's a nice move by Chester. Can't finish the layup, however. Rebound was stripped away from Jamison. And with under a minute to go, Dolphins likely have one more possession while they run their offense. McAllister defended by Contreras. Draws a foul, and no, it's an offensive foul. So they'll say McAllister extended the arm there. Some final stats for the Dolphins, assuming they don't score any more points. McAllister with 10, Goldstein with 14 in just 24 minutes. McAllister surprisingly only played 18 minutes in this game. Waterman had 18. That leads the Dolphins as that shot will go inside. Final basket of the game for Queens in all likelihood, as the Dolphins will dribble out the closing seconds. And CSI will improve to 2-0 in conference play as they knock off Queens College. And, of course, CSI's second leading scorer, who I did not mention yet, will be our TLC Physical Therapy Player of the game.
The pipes here.
J.J. Chestnut heading over in just a few moments. We'll be right back. CSI wins 78-62.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we are back here on CSI Sportsnet with our TLC Physical Therapy post-game report. Nick is joined on the court by our player of the game, J.J. Chestnut.
All right, we're here, Joe, with the player of the game, and all the other players on the Dolphins are going to congratulate J.J. on being the player of the game, so they will all dap him up, and then we will get, as Sean Hargraves says, J.J.'s the layup master. J.J. had a great game. Many layups. You're seeing all the handshakes. A lot of creativity there, but JJ, 'tis the season for the Chestnuts to be roasting, right?
Yeah,
so out there today, you were roasting, you were firing up. Great game from you, not only with the points, but the steals and the assists as well. How were you able to see everything so clearly on the court today?
Honestly, we've been focusing a lot on defense and just all the little other things besides putting the ball in the hoop. We have a lot of guys who can put in the ball in the hoop, but all those other things are the reasons why we win games. So we've just been focused on that more.
So 2-0 now in conference play. Big wins here early on in the season, a lot of games at home. How do you carry this momentum moving forward here throughout the season?
Staying positive and staying together. One thing about us is we know every game there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be a whole bunch of things that go wrong, but we just got to stay on the same team, stay together. That's it.
So my broadcast colleague, we know he hates my famous call of Chestnuts roasting on open fire, but for him, JJ, you and I right now will do just one line. We're going to sing it together. I'm going to count to 3 and we'll start. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. There you go, Joe. Back to you. Congrats, JJ.
Thank you.
All right, Nick, thanks for that. And, Nick, I was awfully tempted as a joke to mute the microphone as that was about to happen so that our viewers just saw you and JJ with your mouths moving and nothing coming out, but I thought that would have taken away from the moment, so I let that sound come over the air.
That was an all-time post-game interview moment. We've had a few of them just this season, but that is going to go down in holiday history here at CSI.
Your taste might be a bit subjective, but we'll take it, as that will wrap up our TLC Physical Therapy post-game report. Our player of the game, J.J. Chestnut. Our winners today in the men's basketball conference matchup, the College of Staten Island, as they knock off Queens College by a final score of 78-62. Dolphins on the road Wednesday at Mercy. Nick and I back here on the call next weekend as the Dolphins will take on St. Thomas Aquinas College here at the Tank. Until then, thanks for watching. Once again, this has been Joe Foreman alongside Nick Durst, our engineer Tyler Clark, Pat Gilorenzo up top on camera. From all of us here at the College of Staten Island, thanks for tuning in, and you'll hear from us again next weekend.